I'm going to explain the part 1 of chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Genetics. Genetics word came from the word genesis. मतलब genesis मतलब होता है कि एक चीज को जनरेट करना और वी कैन से एज बढ़ाना. ओके, हियर वी आर स्टडिंग जो हम ह्यूमन से रिलेटेड है. Like we can say the genetics are the branch of biology that deals with the inheritance and variation. ये वो ब्रांच है जिसमें हम इनहेरिटेंस एंड वेरिएशंस के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Inheritance is the process by which character or traits pass from one generation to other. For example, height, hair color, or types of hair color, including the DNA, etc., which comes from your parents to the offspring. Next step, variation. Variation is the degree of difference in the progeny and between parents and progeny. For example, आप और आपके भाई में obviously फर्क तो होगा ही ना. लाइक नॉट दिस दोनों भी सेम तो नहीं होंगे, तो वो जो डिफरेंस है दोनों में इज कॉल्ड द वेरिएशन. जो फर्क है इज कॉल्ड वेरिएशन. Father of genetics is the G.J. Mendel, who contributed a very important role in genetics. Means we can say he started the genetics. Father of modern genetics, W. Batson, who gave the name genetics. Father of experimental genetics is the Morgan. Father of human genetic and biological genetic is A. Garrod. A. Garrod. Garrod discovered first human metabolic genetic disorder, which is L-captonuria. L-captonuria. These are the some important terms. First is recessive character. Recessive character means the character which is suppressed, which indicates with small letter and hide the own character. Second, homozygous. The condition in which chromosome pair carries similar alleles of gene. For example, the Pureland characters. Third, the heterozygous, the condition for which chromosome pair carries dissimilar alleles of gene. Fourth, phenotype, which is visible character, physical expression of an individual or organism. Fifth is genotype, which is the genetic constitution of character, which is non-visible. Why Mendel selected pea plant? क्या उसके पास कोई plant नहीं थे? But pea plant has the pure varieties. Means in market pure variety are available. Pea plant are easy to cultivate. Life cycle of plants are only few months, so that result can get early. Contrasting traits are observed. Flowers as bisexual and normally self-pollinated. Flowers can be cross-pollinated only manually. Hybrids are fertile. Mendel hybridization experiment. Mendel selected 7 pairs of true breeding garden pea varieties, which is also known as Pisum sativum. Steps in making a cross in pea. First, selection of 2 pea plants with contrasting characters. Second, removal of anthers, which is known as emasculation of one plant to avoid self-pollination. This is female parent. Collection of pollen grains from another plant, which is male parent, and transferred to female parent with the help of pollination. Fourth, collection and germination of seeds to produce offspring. The height base should be. Now I'm going to explain the inheritance of one gene. The first is monohybrid cross. Mono means the single contrasting character. A cross involving two plants differing in one contrasting pair. Monohybrid phenotype ratio is 3:1. Tall has 3 and dwarf is 1. Monohybrid genotype ratio is 1:2:1, which is homozygous tall is 1, heterozygous tall is 2, homozygous dwarf is 1. Now, I will explain with the example seed color. These are the two parents, capital Y and capital Y. That is homozygous dominant yellow. Why we say homozygous? Because it is pure line. Homozygous recessive green, that is the small y and the small y. These are the parents, homozygous dominant yellow and homozygous recessive green, which produce the gametes capital Y and small y, which undergoes first filial generation and it forms capital Y, small y, that is heterozygous yellow. We call this heterozygous because it contains dissimilar pair of alleles. It will be further undergo selfing. It will produce capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y, and this will undergo further second filial generation by the Punnett square. It will form the progeny that is yellow, 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 and green. Monohybrid phenotype ratio will be 3:1 and monohybrid genotype ratio will be 1:2:1. Now we'll study the Mendel principle, also known as law of inheritance. The first law of inheritance is the law of dominance. In law of dominance, characters are controlled by the discrete unit called factors, also known as genes. Factors occur in pairs, which is pair of alleles. The pair of genes is also known as alleles. In a dissimilar pair of factor, one member of pair dominates the other, which is the recessive one. The second law is also known as the law of segregation. During gamete formation, the factors, that is alleles of character pair present in parents segregate from each other such that a gamete receive only one of the two factors. Homozygous parents produce similar gametes. Heterozygous parent produce two kinds of gametes each having one allele with equal proportion.